Someone is going to die from this, and I'm not even exaggerating it this time. Hey going guys, Steve here from Australian 4x4 Adventures podcast series, and this one is going to be an absolute doozy. I've never seen such stupidity in my entire life, but these guys, I honestly hope they're just taking the piss, because this is idiocy, absolute idiocy, it really is. So, got my little bit of information and stuff going on here, so let's have a look, shall we? I've seen this started to do the rounds on social media. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you're just finding it and you like some of the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below and get involved with the conversation, because that's what this community is about. Talking to people and getting to know other people's opinions and thoughts and just being an all-round good person. So join the conversation. Right, so these people call themselves Tyre extinguishers. And if you know anything about these people, you're already sitting there rolling your eyes going, oh my God, really? No way! Yep, we're talking about them, if you know about them. Alright, so this only just came to my attention today, so I'm making this video almost straight away because it's too good not to. It's just, oh man. Alright, so Tyre extinguishers have a website, so if you want to go visit them, it is the tyreextinguishers.com. So they're kind of organised, I guess. What their basic premise is, they don't like four-wheel drives, SUVs, anything larger than, say, a Prius or a little Mazda 2 or something like that. They're climate activists, so that should tell you pretty much everything you need to know. But what they're advertising and advocating to do is complete idiocy, and someone is going to get hurt really badly if they get caught. And I'm not advocating violence at all, so if you do happen to come across these people and they've done something to your car, just call the police. Don't do anything silly, because you're just going to get yourself in trouble, and that's not fun for anyone. Alright, so what they're advocating to do is they don't like big four-wheel drives because essentially they're polluting the earth and they're killing everyone, and babies will die because we drive four-wheel drives. I exaggerated on that last part. But that's pretty much what they're trying to get across. They're all about climate change. Where they've gone completely wrong with this Tyre extinguishers is they are openly promoting and encouraging people to go out by yourself or in groups, find SUVs / four-wheel drives and let their tyres down. That's vandalism, because you're touching someone else's property. 2, it's just complete stupidity, because say that person didn't notice it, they drive off. That's a safety risk to that person and their family and other people, other road users. So they clearly haven't thought through what they're doing very well, because they could end up injuring themselves or one of their own family due to their actions as well, let alone getting the crap beaten out of them by someone who just takes real offence to it all. I'd be close to doing that if I'm honest. Don't advocate it at all. Violence is not the answer, but if someone was touching my car, wouldn't end well. Alright, so on the website, which I'll put up on the screen here as well for you, this is their main section. So if I go to the home section, we are the Tyre extinguishers, it starts with. We are people from all walks of life with one aim: to make it impossible to own a huge pollution 4x4 in the world's urban areas. So what's urban? Like, we're talking like outer suburbia, we're talking inner city, we're talking country. What's the definition of urban? I'll probably try and put it up here actually for what urban means. For me, that just means suburbs and outer suburbs. It's not inner city. You're talking places like Ringwood and from my area, that sort of, it's out of the city. you're not in the city. I'm kind of all for not necessarily having four-wheel drives in the city, especially if you don't need them. But it's your own choice. If you want a big four-wheel drive in the city, go nuts. Like, you're the one that's going to have to try and park it everywhere. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. We are defending ourselves against climate change, air pollution, and unsafe drivers. I don't even know. It's just seriously, they've got to be taking the piss, right? Like, they have to be taking the piss. We do this with a simple tactic: deflating tyres of the massive unnecessary vehicles causing inconvenience to their owners. Deflating tyres repeatedly and encouraging others to do the same will turn a minor inconvenience of a flat tyre into a giant obstacle for drivers for driving massive killer vehicles around our streets. Killer vehicles! Yes! Love it. We're taking these actions because government and politicians have failed to protect us from these huge vehicles. Everyone hates them apart from the people who drive them. We want to live in our towns and cities with clean air and safe streets. Polluting air and politely asking and protesting for these things have failed. It's time for action. Join us. We have no leader. Anyone can take part wherever you are using the simple instructions on our website. So basically no one's claiming that they've started this organisation because, they wouldn't be alive for very long. All right, so other parts of the website is why are we doing this? So you can see the SUVs. SUVs and 4x4s are a disaster for our health, our public safety, and our climate. Bigger and bigger cars are dominating our towns and cities, and also privileged few can flaunt their wealth. So apparently, if I drive a Maserati, I'm not flaunting my wealth, but if I drive a 200 series, I am. Maybe. I'm fairly sure I know which is more expensive. We want to make it impossible to own a huge polluting 4x4 in the world's urban areas. We do this by deflating tyres and the massive unnecessary vehicles, causing inconvenience and expense to their owners. And then it goes into climate change and blah, 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 blah. If you want to have a read of this website, jump on it. There is plenty there to have a read through and a bit of a giggle at. How to spot an SUV. This one was actually kind of amusing for me. When you go into how to spot an SUV, I'm thinking, okay, cool. This is going to be a picture of a 200 series and like a Ranger and just sort of your average four-wheel drive / SUV, sport utility vehicle. Is what SUV stands for. So I would say when you look at the Land Rover Discovery, a Volvo, a Jeep, they look like Nissan. What are they? Tetras? Like they're not a big car. They're tiny. They're little tiny family cars. And a Toyota Corolla. Not Corolla. That's the new RAV4s. They're not big cars. Like they're designed for. They're the smallest version of a car that a family can own. So I don't know what they're actually on about and having a whinge about here. One of the best parts. How to deflate an SUV tyre. They literally give you an instructional video on how to deflate a tyre. So we're probably not talking about the smartest part of society here. If you need instructions on how to deflate a tyre, or you're talking very much inner city, greeny, and I'm stereotyping here, 100% I am, just that hippie, beard, earth mother type person. They've never actually experienced life apart from having their smashed Avo in Richmond on a Sunday morning with their other hoity-toity friends. Seriously. It's actually kind of ingenious though, because they pretty much say, I would have thought it would have been, for me, I would have just like cut the stem off the tyre, just to be a real prick if I was doing it, because then you can't actually reinflate it. But that's proper vandalism. These guys are talking about not just putting something into the valve and letting it down. They're doing it stealth-like. So they basically take the cap off, put a little tiny rock inside the cap, lightly screw it back on until you hear the hissing. Obviously, the rock is pressing down on the valve stem, and it's letting air out slowly. So you can basically be there for 3 seconds, get that done, do all 4, and you're out of there within like a minute, absolute tops, and you don't actually have to wait for the tyres to go down. It's kind of smart, I have to admit. Good one, guys. And there's even an instructional video there, which I'll quickly put up here. Like it's like they're kind of organised. I'll give them that. Well done, guys. Well done. It does say down the bottom there, avoid cars clearly used for people with disabilities, traders' cars, even if they are large, and minibuses and normal-sized vehicles. What's a normal-sized vehicle? For me, that is a normal-sized vehicle. So, as in like a Nissan Dualis, and they're just normal cars. These guys are just weird. You can practice first on a bicycle tyre if you'd like. Come on, guys. There's a leaflet. So obviously it comes in different languages. You've got English, Czech, Danish, German, other English, Italian, Netherlands, French. I actually printed that one out. So I'll put this up on the screen as well. But this is a leaflet that you leave on the car after you've deflated the tyres to say, don't be angry, but then don't take it personally. You'll be angry, but don't take it personally. It's not you, it's your car. Come on, guys. Car companies try to convince us that we need massive cars, but SUVs and 4x4s are a disaster to our climate. SUVs are a second largest cause of the global rise in carbon dioxide emissions over the past decade, more than an entire aviation industry. Yeah, makes sense. The world is facing a climate emergency, and it just goes into why they feel they're justified in their actions in vandalising your car. This is why I've taken the action. You'll have no difficulty getting around without your gas guzzler, but with walking, cycling, or public transport. Driving a hybrid or electric, these are still polluting, dangerous, and cause congestion. See more on our website. So you're not even allowed to drive an electric bloody hybrid car anymore. I'm honestly a little bit flabbergasted by this. The fact that a group, and probably multiple people, think that this is okay for starter. They think that this is a normal course of action to do. They think that by touching and vandalising other people's property, that they're going to get their message heard. All they're doing is alienating themselves and their cause by making people angry. By going down this route, all they're achieving is backward steps. They're not advancing their cause, their message. Anything about what they're doing or saying is officially now in the bin, because no one's going to listen anymore. Because if you're doing stupid, silly stuff like this, where potentially not only are you putting your own life at risk, because there's a fairly high likelihood of, if you do this to the wrong person, you are going to get your ass whooped. They are going to come out and they're going to spot you, and you'll be lucky to be walking away from their car, because some of the demographic of these larger four-wheel drives are a little bit rough. I'll admit, like, there's a couple of rough people out there that will let you know their feelings physically. So that is a really bad idea, guys. If you're watching this, it is a really, really bad idea. Don't do it. On the flip side to all of this, for saying that none of these cars are necessary, the polluting some cars for these people are completely necessary. Some people have bigger families, so they need a bigger car to cart the family around. Some people have jobs where they require bigger cars to cart tools around, to cart materials around. There's a multitude of reasons of that. Some people have bigger cars because they tow big items, whether that be a caravan that they're traveling with, whether that be for work purposes, or whether it just be, I don't know, towing your dead ass bodies around after you bloody all get found out who you are and you get chucked in a great big trailer. You know, just reasons. Either way, there's justification for everyone having the choice of vehicle that they have. I have my large vehicle because I go off-road and I camp and I need the space and I have a family and I tow a caravan, and there's a multiple of reasons why I have my car. It's not just one, it's not none, it's 6 or 7 or 8 different reasons why I can justify my car for my needs. If you can't, that's fine. Don't have it. You do your bit towards climate change and whatever else it is you want to do with your hippie latte, beard, barista, bloody smashed Avo. I do like smashed Avo though. But I don't see how vandalising other people's cars is the answer to any of this. So if you are watching, you're on notice, and the four-wheel drive community knows, and they will be keeping an eye out, because that's what we do. We love our cars. We don't just have them because they're a big car. We have them because they're a passion most of the time. They're a big investment for a lot of us. They're a lot of money. Yes, they are. There's quite easily, minimum for most modern four-wheel drives, $100,000 sitting right there between the car and the modifications that are on the car. Quite easily, if you look at some of the big Yank trucks, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of investment in those cars. You go touching those? Nope, not a good idea at all. So, in closing to all this, obviously I've put a bit of a screenshot up there of the website. I have emailed these guys as well, and I'm waiting for a reply. So if they do reply before I post this video, I will put it up in a second, what their reply is, and we'll see what they have to say about some of their actions and if they're still justifying them from there. Who knows? They might never get back to me. I'll just do what we do. To the people who this may affect, don't retaliate towards them, because you're only going to get yourself in trouble, and then they're going to win. Because if you end up in the clink because you've bashed the crap out of them, you're going to feel good about yourself, but you're still going to end up in the clink, and probably with some assault charges and a fine, and potentially, if you've got any other prize, some jail time to go with it as well, or depending on how bad you bash them. Not advocating that at all. Do not bash them. Not a great idea. Make sure no one else is around. No. Don't do anything to them. It's wrong. I still think this is someone just taking the piss. Surely it has to be someone taking the piss. All right, down in the comment section down below, chuck it down what you think about all this. What would you do if you've seen someone out near your car letting your tyres down? How would you react? I'm fairly sure I know the answer to a lot of you guys, but let me know in the comment section down below. Has this happened to you? Honestly, if this has happened to you, reach out to me in the comment section on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Get on to me, because I'm keen as to have a chat about this if this has happened to you. So I want to see if this is actually real and they're actually doing stuff about this. All right, I'm done. This is just a super quick video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week.